People, we are Tottenham TV, back here with some more transfer targets. Now we are going to be focusing on the left wing, and we know there is a big gap there in quality. We've got Kudus on the right, who's of the required quality. Son has left. We just haven't replaced him. We've got Tell there, we've got Odebear there, two up-and-coming players, but it's just not enough. We need someone of quality on that left wing that can get us regular goal contributions. We just don't have that. And we have got 5 players to talk about. The first one is a player that has been linked via Florian Plettenberg to Tottenham Hotspur, and it's Jan Diomande of RB Leipzig. 19 years of age, already got a 45 million market value, and he is making waves in the Bundesliga this season. Only a couple of weeks ago, scored a hat-trick in the Bundesliga, getting regular goal contributions this season. Not many games behind him in terms of... just his how many games he's played in terms of professional football, but he is definitely a player with a lot of talent. He's a player that everyone's talking about at this moment in time. All the top clubs have been linked with him. They're talking about something crazy money for him, like 80, 90, even 100 million euros, which is just crazy for someone of his level. Not in terms of level of talent, but just level of how many games he's played in his career. But in terms of profile, he could be an unbelievable fit if he actually sees through his talent. Yeah,
incredible dribbler. As you say, he's getting goal contributions, so he's actually adding that. He's got that final third contributions as well at the moment for RB Leipzig. Obviously, Leipzig are very good at developing these young players, and he's in the perfect place at the moment. The thing is, as you say, he's only not been at Leipzig for that long. He's 19. He's not played that many games, but he's bursting onto the scene, and I think you do have to kind of get in early with these players, otherwise you kind of miss the boat. So do Tottenham feel we have to push the button on him right now if we've got any chance of getting him? Is he someone who's going to come in and hit the ground running and be the answer? That's another question. I think a lot of people are very excited about. Look at the metrics. His underlying metrics are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I can understand the excitement.
Just look at someone like Gittins. You know what I mean? He was doing so well in the Bundesliga last year for Dortmund.
Yeah,
and he's been fairly poor this year.
So
and everyone was saying he's the next big thing.
He might be in a few years, but or might even be next year or even later this season. But he hasn't hit the ground running. Is the point? And so spending 100 million on him in January and then being like, this is the player we're who's gonna be the answer to our left wing problems right now, is a big ask. But doesn't mean it's not true. Doesn't mean it's impossible, because clearly he's doing very well. Clearly he's comfortable starting games at a high level consistently, and he's thriving. But it does seem to be like crazy money for a player with that level of experience. It just seems like if you sign him and it doesn't work out, it's not like one you would say, given the evidence is understandable, you turn around and be like, what are we doing? Why are we spending 100 million on a player who's played 20 games? But the evidence does suggest this guy's a
special.
Really good player. Could be special,
Yeah. He's also part of the Ivory Coast team in the AFCON. Obviously, which has just started, so it'll be interesting to see how he does there in a big tournament. And if he does do really well and smashes it out as in one of the best players at the tournament, that could convince a few people, couldn't it?
Just like Savinho.
Savinho did great in Italy.
Yeah, fantastic.
Next up, we're going to talk about another teenager plying his trade in the Bundesliga, this time for Cologne, Said El Mala. We talked about him on the Tottenham Update a few weeks ago, or maybe last week it was, but he's already got a 40 million market value. He's banging in the goal contributions, 6 goals and 3 assists, and he's a shining light in this Cologne team this season. Don't know too much about him. He's already had a call up for the German national side, which is very impressive. But, big things are being spoken about with him.
Yeah, the difference between him and Diomande is, even though they've got the same amount of goals, in terms of how they play, Diomande is more of a creator, whereas Diomande is more of a guy who's going to look to shoot and score goals. So he's more of a goal-scoring kind of player. Takes a lot of shots compared to someone like Diomande. He's got very dribbling, very sharp, and I've been looking at some clips of him. Very, very impressive. He's been very impressive this season for Cologne. So another one breaking onto the scene. Would he be as much as Diomande? Maybe not. Is he as good as Diomande? Who knows? I think he probably is a player, for me, that suits what we need right now more than in a way more than Diomande, albeit Diomande, who could suit anything. You know what I mean? He could be a real special player. So definitely one to consider. But again, another 19-year-old. And it's not exactly like he's been doing it year in, year out, but goes the same thing I was saying about Diomande. Do we have to get in early to beat the competition when we're trying to get ahead of the competition? But the problem is getting in early isn't as...
Massive risk.
First of all that, but it's also not as cheap as it used to be.
Yeah. But it's still cheaper than after they blow up.
Yeah.
So, look, those are two teenagers in the Bundesliga. Would you like to see any of them as the marquee left-wing signing? That's what we're talking about, a marquee left-wing signing that can fill the boots of Son Heung-min. I don't think anyone can fill the boots of Son Heung-min, but we also bought Sonny as a young player coming out of the Bundesliga. Obviously, he took a year to develop, and then we really saw that rise in Sonny. So is that what we're going to have to expect, signing one of these players? Are they going to have a bedding-in period of a season and maybe more, maybe a bit less? But is that what we're going to have to expect from some of these players?
We have that now.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, we've got that now, so do we need another one of them?
That's the big question. Most people would say no. If you're in the recruitment or if you're inside the club, it might be a different answer.
Well, those are the two players from the Bundesliga. Next up, we are going to go to a household name in Rafael Leao. Spurs were actually linked with him last summer. Don't know how serious they were or how realistic it was, but the names were bandied about. Obviously, he's 26, big market value and 70 million, playing for AC Milan, having a good season again, scoring 5 goals in 10 games. He is currently injured, missed the last 2 games through injury. Not sure how serious the injury is, but we know the quality of Rafael Leao. We know that he knows where the back of the net is. He knows how to create as well. There is a bit of a question mark, though, in terms of his work rate, though.
Is he a bit of a show pony? Not show pony, but like a prima donna, as someone who doesn't do the defensive work. In terms of his numbers, they are good without being exceptional. In his last 5 seasons in Milan, last season 16 goal contributions, season 4 18, season 4 23, season 4 21. So they are strong, but they're not like world class numbers. You'd say they'll say like they're very good numbers.
Yeah.
But are they numbers of the upper echelons? Now, he is 26, so he's still got a lot of years in his prime ahead of him. Could he, you've seen someone like Dembele who was good and then he just found the right formula and the right way and became world class. Does Leao have that potential? I think a lot of people would say yes. You look at his metrics, good dribbler, he's good, good long range shot, good creator as well. But a big club has never really taken a punt on him, whether he's ever asking too much or the reservations have been too much. It does scream to me of a signing that Spurs would try to make in January to show they're serious.
Without actually making it.
First of all, well, I would say previously without actually making it, but I think, is there a possibility Spurs are willing to throw silly money at a situation, first of all because of the situation we're in the league, and also to show this is a new Tottenham. This is, they want to show how serious they are about getting Tottenham competing. So let's throw silly money at a player who's a big star name and could be seen as a statement signing. Leao would probably be that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of them on their list. Like, look, statement signing, he could be it. Whether it would work, I'd like to think it would. I think he's a good player. I also think there's a possibility we make him a statement signing and he flops, and that would be just classic Tottenham. But obviously, it would get everyone very excited.
That's the thing. Like, out of all the players that we speak about, because this guy he's been there, he's been a household name for so long now, the last 3 or 4 years, everyone knows Rafael Leao. He comes with his marketing opportunities and everything like that.
Has he truly fulfilled his potential?
I don't think he has. I don't think he has. But I think we know that he's got exceptional quality about him, though, if you can get him performing to his top level. But I don't think he's shown that yet. But maybe at 26, he's still got some more levels to go up. But what he does do is bring a lot of excitement to the fan base if we were to sign him.
Yeah, there's just something in the back of my mind that tells me this is just, it's kind of like something that sounds good on paper but would end up being a disaster. That's what my gut's telling me if this was to ever happen.
You're too Tottenham.
It's just what my gut's telling me. Like, if we were to pull it off, we would sign him for like, I'll go like big, go 100 million or something. Everyone would go wild, and then he'd be not good. That's like kind of what my gut's telling me. Or like Frank would like not be happy with his work there or something. Like something would happen. But I'd obviously be very on board with bringing him in.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Rafael Leao. Next player we're going to talk about is Savinho. Obviously, Spurs were heavily linked with him in the summer. Obviously, it got cut due to the Man City directors not wanting to sell him and stuff like that. You know, Spurs were willing to put down big money for him in the summer. Around 70 million was the talk of the town. Hasn't really kicked on at Man City this season, struggling for game time. Recently, he's seen a bit more of it, and he scored a couple of goals recently. But we know, look, he's got supreme talent. But is he a player that comes in and is able to get us those goal contributions straight away? I mean, I don't think so.
I think he's a player that immediately plays and immediately improves us.
100%.
And like, it's not like, I don't think we have to like wait for him to play well. You know what I mean? I think he will come in and play well, but it's about whether he's just needed a little bit of refining. Like Tel and Odebear, the problem with them at the moment is we're still waiting them to get consistent good performances. I don't think that would be the same as Savinho. He would be. I think he would come in. I think he would get into the team immediately, and we'll see some good performances from him immediately. The question is about it's his final third decision making. He's got his little things like he hits like his shots are just an inch wide rather than inside the goal. Like I think he is waiting and ready to explode, in my opinion, and I don't think we're going to have to wait too long. I know he's struggling to get in the City team, but you got to remember he's up against Cherki and Doku, who are in incredible form at the moment. Anyone would find it tough to get into that team, but look. It's been
also,
a while.
You know, Doku doesn't get those regular goal contributions either, and
he's starting to get in this season a bit more.
Not regularly though. Like in terms of in the Premier League.
No, I think in all
in the Premier League, I think he's got 1 goal.
Was it all 6 goal contributions maybe?
That's what I'm saying. Like these Man City players on the wing don't get these kind of regular goal contributions. Maybe I think he's got 4 assists and 1 goal this season.
Yeah, but Doku's just better than him.
Yeah. Because he's probably the best dribbler in the league by far. I mean, he's unbelievable.
But if you look at the stats of Savinho, it's exceptional. His underlying data is incredible. He's pretty much amazing at everything, essentially,
except for scoring and assisting.
But okay.
Well, he got 7 assists last season.
He got 7 assists last season, and the guy's 21. He's still like he's very young. I think would be, in my opinion, I would love to bring him in. I think it would be a really good signing.
I think he would be a good signing. I don't disagree, but we're talking about someone that can come in and get regular goal contributions straight off the bat. That's what we need desperately, because we just don't have that on the left wing or even on the right wing. Kudus isn't even doing it. So we got rid of so many goal contributions, not got rid of, but out injured and suspended, and we just don't have those players in the forward line.
He can get assists. Well, I don't see why not. But I agree. I think we do need. I think in a perfect world we need a goal-scoring winger for sure. But we don't live in a perfect world, and it is January.
Yeah.
And if we can get him in, we get him in.
But I think he's someone that's available.
That's my point.
I think he's someone that's available and he's attainable, who's willing to come in the summer. If he was willing to come in the summer, has he seen stuff at Tottenham being like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Changed? Like, has he seen stuff gone on this season at Tottenham being like, oh, maybe it was a good decision to stay at Man City?
That's my fear. It's gone that badly so far. Is he looking at Tom like, do I really want to go there?
Because you got to say, like, if he stays at Man City, even if it's off the bench, and he's still got the possibility to fight his way into the team. They play a lot of games, Champions League, FA Cup, still in the League Cup, 4 competitions. Is he going to throw away potential of some winners' medals to come to Tottenham?
Depends how desperate he is or how much he believes if he plays game time, he'll get in that World Cup squad.
That's the thing.
And how desperate he is to do that.
Well, it will all be revealed in January.
And also how willing and desperate City are to sell.
Yeah. The rumours are they are willing to sell.
Might feel like as much as he wants to stay, he decided to stay in the summer and it hasn't really
and sign the contract. They got him to sign a contract as well.
True.
So how realistic this one is, we'll have to wait and see. Another player that has been linked with Spurs is Kevin Schade of Brentford, 35 million market value, 24 years of age, a player that Thomas Frank obviously developed and knows very well. I think he's very good in like a counter-attacking team, but I question whether how good he would be in a team that kind of tries to dominate the possession and breaks down opposition. Like, I think he'll be brilliant when we play like the Man Cities and the PSGs in the Champions League. I think in those games he would be fantastic. But when you play those home games against, whoever it may be, Brentford or Burnley or the majority of the Premier League, is he going to be a good asset for us?
I kind of feel like he's a better version of Brendan Johnson. That's kind of how I feel about Kevin Schade. He's very much a guy who can be in the right place at the right time. And I feel as well, whereas Brennan doesn't like taking people on, he will find a yard and get a shot off, and he's quite good at shooting from the angles, and he's got quite a clinical finish on him. Johnson also has a clinical finish, but he's very much it's very much when he's through on goal, when you're playing him through and he doesn't have anyone to be, and it's just him and the keeper, he'll be clinical. But let's say you play a long ball to him and he's got a defender and the keeper between him and the goal, the chance of him getting a shot off are low, and the confidence is low. You'll never see him shift and shoot and get off a shot. Whereas he's in on goal, that's different. Whereas Schade, he'll be direct, he'll go for goal, he'll just make a yard for himself and get that shot off, and he's much better in those situations. But he can also run in behind like Brendan. He can also get into those situations where he's through on goal. In terms of him being just a natural winger who creates and dribbles and stuff like that, I don't think he's particularly fantastic at that kind of stuff. He's much more of an inside forward than he is a winger, in my opinion. But Frank knows him well. He did well under Frank last season. What was it, 12 Premier League goals? 11 goals. So he did well. He knows how to use him. Not
so much a creator, though.
No, he's not a creator. But if we're selling Brennan, is he an upgrade on him? Maybe.
Maybe. I think it might be a slight upgrade. I feel like they're similar caliber of player.
Yeah, I would say they're in the same category, but I think he's maybe a little bit of a better version than Brennan.
And I think if we're selling Brennan, I think we need to go for like a level above kind of thing. I would be against signing Kevin Schade. I think, look, he could do decent for us. And I think as a squad player, he's not the answer, is what I'm saying, for our left-wing problems.
Also, if we're selling Brennan for 35, we'd have to pay more for him, probably.
Probably. And what I would say about him, he's a very hard worker. And I don't know what his defensive stats or metrics say, but I assume they're quite high. Are they high?
Don't have them here.
Don't have them. But I know he's a very hard worker, and he gets up and down. He puts his challenges in, and he is a hard player to handle. Where you always kind of notice him in the game. He doesn't like ghosting games like Brendan Johnson does. But the last one that we're going to talk about is a dream one. We all like to dream, don't we? And next one and last is Kenan Yildiz of Juventus, 75 million market value, 20 years of age. This guy is just a supreme talent. When you're talking about the 19-year-olds we spoke about before, this guy at 20 years of age is a completely different kettle of fish because he's got so much experience behind him. He's been a star in this Juventus team for a number of years now, gets regular goal contributions, such trickery in his legs as well. I mean, any club that get him is going to be very lucky, but I think he's got his sights set on a bit higher than Tottenham Hotspur right now, unfortunately.
To be honest, I think he's got his sights set on being an unbelievable legend at Juve, to be honest, more than anything. He's at a massive club right now. I think this dream, if there was any part of you that thought maybe there was a possibility that this could happen, that probably died with the news that Fabio Paratici's leaving Spurs. Because you always felt with Fabio, could he, he's someone who can get a deal done, and going back to his old club, he's done it before, and that was maybe at the back of people's minds when you thought of, could he do something to get Yildiz out of Juve? But with him not being here, I think that completely is now out the window. Even if he was here, you'd say it's unlikely, but he's kind of like a number 10 and a winger rolled into one. He's like the best of both worlds. He's a phenomenal talent. He's really bursting onto the scene. He played, I think, at the World Cup for Turkey, or was it the Euros for Turkey when he was quite young? And I remember it was him and Gula.
He's still quite young.
yeah, even younger than he is now. It was him and Gula, but Gula kind of outshone him in that tournament. But I think he's now the one who's really kicked on over the period, and they love him, Juve. I think he's going to stay there for a long time. Unless Juve, this rut really continues and they're not in the Champions League for a while, maybe he'll consider going to a better club. But I think he said his ultimate dream is to be a bigger legend than Del Piero. That's like his ultimate dream. So he's just clearly a guy who's had Juventus in his heart. So I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, maybe. Harry Kane always said he wanted to stay at Tottenham.
And he did.
But
For 10 years.
for 10 years. But, you know, we couldn't match his ambitions. Maybe Juve can't match his ambitions, but Tottenham definitely can't if Juve can't. So, look, unbelievable talent, unbelievable player. I don't think he's coming to Tottenham. He's already got 9 goal contributions this season in 15 games, which is only 2 less than the whole of last season. So he's a player that he's literally blowing up. So there is no chance Spurs sign him. So I think we can just, when we're talking about which ones we want most, it's obviously going to be him, but he's the most unrealistic one of the lot. So besides Keane Yildiz, which one do you want?
Savinho, to be honest. I think I would really want him at Tottenham. Obviously, Schade would be the most attainable, probably. Well, to be honest, maybe the El Malo or Diomande, in terms of just if you put the money up, you get him in. Schade, I like the thought of in a way, but I'm not really that interested. Leao is just, there's something, big red flag in my head going, just don't do it. But I would obviously get very excited if we were to get that signing in through the door. But I think Savinho is kind of the best kind of mix of semi-realistic but also great fit for the team.
For me, my number one choice would be Rafael Leao, just for the glitz.
The
glitz and the glamour.
Let's just spend some irresponsible money. Let's just throw it at the top. Let's just do it.
Just for the excitement, for those 2 weeks of excitement before we see him play, or that week of excitement. When you get that here we go on Rafael Leao, nothing's going to hit better.
And maybe he would start fulfilling his potential. Who knows? I think the thing is, he hasn't had a great season, and he didn't have a phenomenal season last season either.
It's right. He's already got 5 goals this season, which is not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not someone you would spend 100 million on.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's a good player, very good player.
Yeah.
Also for Portugal, he's not been fantastic on the international stage as well. But anyway, I mean, who am I to turn down someone of the quality of Leao?
Exactly. We've got Telenoda and
you're
turning down Leao.
Yeah, who am I to turn down that quality?
But look, I think all the players that we spoke about have their values and obviously are all a step up in probably what we have right now out on the left-hand side. So,
which is probably why we won't sign anyone on this list.
probably. But let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Obviously, Keane Yildiz, I bet, is on your list as number 1. But if you can't get Keane Yildiz, which player on this list would you like to sign? If none of them, let us know more realistic targets in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.